I found out about Helm probably about 2 months ago. I downloaded it and then I forgot to make a video about it. Or I didn't forget, it just got pushed back when other stuff that's a little more in my wheelhouse showed up, like orchestral stuff, because that's really what I'm into, is the film music and the game music, orchestral end of things. But anyways, Helm is a free download, so let's check that out. And before we get started, if you do like videos like these, remember to do the whole like and subscribe thing. I try to do a couple of videos every week. I really like to focus on free content, free VSTs, instruments that you can find. And also I look at some of the older Contact things that maybe people forget about, because we all have our fancy new libraries. So I just wanted to mention that. If you like that kind of stuff, like, subscribe, and all that. And now let's jump over to the website. It's title.org. Not exactly sure how you pronounce that. I'll put a link to this down below. This is free. It's a run anywhere GNU/Linux, Mac OS 10, Windows. It's a standalone synthesizer, and it's free. You can donate to them, so if you feel like if you have a few extra bucks you want to throw their way, go for it. When you have the GUI up in Cubase, which we'll look at here in a second, when you first initialize it, it'll pop up a donate page. So that's the only kind of inconvenience, I guess, if you can call it that. I mean, I don't blame them. They're giving it out there for free, and maybe you intend to pay for it or give them, or maybe you intend to donate something and you forget, so they give you that little reminder. I don't blame them. You gotta do that marketing funnel somewhere. Anyways, here's just an overview of what the GUI looks like. I am in no way a synth expert. I'm an orchestral guy. I say that a lot. So just go in this with a grain of salt, knowing that I'm not going to be able to, nor do I have the time really to teach you all these things here. This is a film composer, orchestral guy's approach to using a synth. But if you're going to get into something like that, Helm is a good starting point because it is free. Not only that, but it says right up here that their source code is free. So if you want to play around with coding for synths, you can get in there and go nuts with that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump over into Cubase now. I'll play a few sounds, and I have a little tune at the end, so stay tuned for that. All right, here we are inside of Cubase. This is the tune I already wrote it out. It'll play here at the end, but I figured I'll just use this since I already had it open. Let's look at the interface. It looks just like what we saw, obviously, because that was a picture of it. But you can go in here and you can create your own, save them, name them, or you can go in here and see that they have quite a few pre-created ones: ARPs, basses, chip sounds, harsh, has a real edgy sound to it. Those are all opening. There we go. Keys, what did I use? I used the CM Xylo in the tune, and it's actually, I liked that one. It has kind of a cool, a lot of these arpeggiate or have some sort of delay built in, and this one it slightly goes out of tune as it plays the notes, which it actually was kind of a neat effect. I'm sure you could turn that off somewhere on the interface if you wanted to. You have leads, whole bunch of pads, and I mean there's quite a few of them. The percussion, this is the one thing, I'm sure if you're doing specific types of music you could find use for this, but I didn't really care for the percussive sounds. That's why I threw in a little drum kit from Play on it. I needed something with a little more punch. And again, you could play around with these filters and the different settings, but I was also trying to use the settings out of the box as much as I could, just because that's what most people that are going to get it, and they're just going to start playing around with it before they even tweak any things. They're just going to listen to the sound. So that's what I wanted to do with this, just using out-of-the-box sounds. Some sound effects. There's a really cool one, the CM riser. That one's pretty neat. It's key release sensitive, so you can hold the note for a long time and it'll do a gradual release, or you can hit the note and release it like in a 16th or an 8th note, and you'll get a little attack and then it'll do a cool thing. I'll play a little bit of that here in a second. And then it repeats. I assume this is for user saved patches. They just made separate folders for everything. I could be wrong about that, but these are all empty. So I'm just assuming those are meant for user created patches. And then Chris Alvarez, I'm assuming he's some sort of producer on this project, and other factory presets. Anyways, that's the patches that are included in here. I only used a few of them. Just came up with a quick little tune. I want to play this CM riser thing though. I think this is pretty cool. I like how these sound. So let me do that and solo that out, and then I'll play these for you. Yeah, those are pretty cool. The MIDI data here is just, I played I think it's a 16th note and released it so that the little rise would happen on the downbeat. And I thought it was a neat effect, almost like using a scraper on a cymbal. And then there's also this whistle effect that I thought was pretty cool, so I'll play you that now also. Yeah, those are pretty cool. And there's quite a few of those effects also. Those are just the two I decided to use. And the xylophone, this is the other one I wanted to play. I did a fast 16th note pattern, just bouncing around in octaves. And it's also already an arpeggiated sound, so it created a neat effect. So here is that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's a ton of sounds like this, and you have all the different settings you can play around with and manipulate. You can make your own step sequencers. You can save your presets. You can get into the code of this thing if you want to. So, I mean, obviously it's another free one if you're looking for a synth, and from what I've read, a pretty loved synth out there among people that are especially into writing that kind of music. You should go check out Helm. Again, the link is down below, and I'm gonna go ahead and play that tune now. Remember, like and subscribe. I hate to keep driving it home, but it really does help the channel, and we will see you on the next one.